So you finish your round of golf, you've driven home, hobble out of the car, and you get home and you sit down and you just want to chill out. But you know, if you don't do anything and you just go to bed, wake up the next day, you're probably going to be stiff and sore, and you might even be playing golf the next day. What do you do in the 10 minutes or so to help your body recover and get ready for the next day? I'm going to share with you guys some simple strategies that you can put in place today so that you can wake up after a round of golf and not be super stiff and sore. Number one, we got to address wherever you're tight and you need to be able to rotate. Your body's going to take a beating out on the golf course, especially if you're tight in your hips, shoulders, spine, or neck. Our most common areas to get tight are the hips and the trunk and the shoulders. If you do find that you get sore shoulders, wrists, and elbows, click on the link in the description and I'll provide you with a really, really simple shoulder mobility routine to go through as a recovery tool as well. We're going to focus a little bit more on the hips and trunk today. So again, if it's more shoulder, elbow, wrist, click on the link for that shoulder mobility workout. That'll really provide you with the recovery that you need. In terms of the hips, again, lower back might be stiff, this is going to be the optimal kind of routine for you. Number one, make sure you hydrate, okay? Especially if you've had a couple beers on the golf course, make sure you're drinking lots of water at the end of the round when you get home. And we're going to use a golf club. Simple strategy here. We're going to find our main hip internal rotator. It's called TFL, or tensor fasciae lata. You're going to feel two hip bones here and here, okay? You're going to get just beneath that bony crest, and right where I'd slide my hand into my pocket pretty much, that's where I'm going to stick the golf club, just beneath that bony crest, and I'm going to enter and press in on a bit of an angle. I've got a wedge here, so I can actually kind of take that top hand, the club head, and just pull it in towards me. And if I just use that to angle it around, find the angle where I definitely feel like that's a little stiff and sore there, I'm going to hold it on that spot. So we're going to do some soft tissue work here and just hold that, pin it in place, that TFL muscle, and just give it a good press. And you're going to tack it down. I'm going to hold it there, and then just going to start to rotate that hip in and out. Just like that. And this definitely, you're going to be feeling this as you work it in. It should be a tolerable level of discomfort, but I would say 30 to 60 seconds on both sides for the TFL. Okay, that's going to give you restore just a little bit of mobility to those hips and just going to ease the tension in some of that soft tissue a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit more pliable. Once you've done that on both sides, set your golf club to the side, and we're just going to work on rotating that hip while you're in your chair. So sitting here, just bring a foot wide, take that hip and just roll it in. So now I'm just going to internally rotate that hip, and from there, push it in towards the floor. Try and get a little bit of a stretch. So you can even assist with this hand. Kind of push your leg into your hand and then drop it down. Push your leg into your hand for a few seconds, a little isometric, and then drop it down. I'm feeling that stretch big time in the hip, and you can even turn your trunk a little bit towards that hip and lean back. Definitely feel a big stretch in there. And you can rotate the trunk and rotate this leg in and out, probably about 6 to 10 times. Really getting some end range of motion work. Do that on both sides, and then follow it up with our figure 4 stretch. From here, pressing down, lifting the chest up. Get that spine nice and tall. Just sit your butt back so we're not slumping forwards. We're lifting nice and tall, pressing this down, getting your chest up. And again, just try and rotate that trunk in both directions, getting that trunk starting to move back and forth. So again, we get some movement back in those hips and some rotation in both internal and external rotation. That's going to loosen those hips up. Do that on both sides. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get into that hip flexor and quad. So again, you might need something to kneel down on. Use your chair or a couch. This is conveniently called a couch stretch. So from here, I've got something to kneel on. I got my foot on the chair or the couch, half kneeling stance. I'm going to try and actually tuck the hips under. So that's where we're going to get into hip flexor. So my hip shouldn't be flexed back like this. We want this hip to extend. That's going to stretch your hip flexor or your psoas. And from there, I want to feel that this glute is engaged. I'm nice and tall here. I got a big stretch going on in the quad. To get the hip flexor, I'm going to keep that glute engaged and move this knee forward just a little bit. And I feel that stretch come all the way up through here. Nice deep breaths. You want to hang out here for a little bit of time. So that hip flexor, definitely you have to hold that position for at least a minute or so. I would hold it 1 to 2 minutes on each side for this couch stretch. That's going to open up the hip flexors, take some of that stress off of the lower back. Okay, so next exercise, we're gonna lay down, find some space on the ground, and you are gonna probably need a foam roller for this. So now that you found the floor, we got our foam roller here. We're gonna put it across 90 degrees to your spine, keeping it definitely above belly button height. Okay, we're going in the mid spine here, not into your lower back. Just support the head here. We're not pulling on the head, we're just supporting the neck. Just gonna lift the butt up, gently roll here. Up and down the spine. Again, not getting too low in the back, just above belly. Keep it definitely above the belly button, but in between the shoulder blades. You can roll back and forth here about, 6 to 10 times. And then you're just gonna park it between the shoulder blades. From here, we're gonna keep that butt on the floor. Keep the chin tucked to the chest. I'm not lifting or tilting the chin. I'm just letting the upper back slowly extend over the roller. This is a great exercise for anyone if you're a bit of a sloucher. It's going to help you extend. Again, especially if you're playing golf in a cart, you're sitting, you're slouching a lot. This is going to help extend that spine and reset it, give it some length. Once you've done those extensions a few times, bring the roller down your spine a little bit. Again, keep your core engaged, keep your butt on the floor. I'm not tilting the chin back. I'm keeping the chin here and just opening up from here. Again, after you do 2 or 3 extensions, move the roller down just a little bit. This is about as low as we're going to get in that mid back, working some extensions over there and making sure that we can get that spine extending backwards. So 2 or 3 times, work your way through the mid spine from the shoulder blades down to about the solar plexus. And then just lay on your side from here. Okay, the good old book opener. I love this version here, hand on forehead. So we've got the foam roller here, supporting the top leg. That's really important because if I'm just down on the floor, that's going to introduce a lot of rotation at the lower back. We don't want too much of that. I want the lower back to stay stable, so I hook that in place. You can put your head on a pillow, get your shoulder right underneath you, hand on the forehead, just like you're shielding your eyes from the sun. And then you're just going to rotate open, keeping this leg in place. This knee should not come off the roller at all. And just open up till your body stops. Hold there, take a nice deep breath in, expand the rib cage. On the exhale, you should feel that the shoulder blade gets a little closer to the floor. Come back to the start and then repeat. So you're just going to open up, wait till your body stops. Again, big breath in here, expand the rib cage. Hold the breath for a second or two, and then I exhale, I open up a little further. You can even take 2 or 3 breaths at this end range, making sure that that knee stays put on the roller. And there's your book opener. You can do about 5 or 6 of those on each side. That routine is definitely going to get your hips, spine moving and restored. You're going to help you feel relaxed at the end of the day. It's going to help you feel a lot better that day after golf. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next time.